Very pleased not to be joined here at SB Nation by the one and only, the internationally famous, and based on some of my findings, the funniest person in the history of the internet. It is three-time Paralympic gold medalist, world champion Brenna Huckaby. Brenna, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Hi, yeah, of course. I'm happy to be here.
I have to start because of the exact time. It's 10:18 a.m. Central Standard Time for me, and so we are basically at the 6-year anniversary of a tweet you sent. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
No.
So again, 10:18, you were a little bit late, if I'm being honest here, because I was planning on doing this at 10:15 when it was scheduled to start. Again, not trying to call out, someone who's insanely more talented than me. But that being said, at 10:15 a.m. Central Standard Time on December 8th, 2019, that's your clue. Do you have any idea what you tweeted?
No.
You tweeted, "I'm super weirded out that there is a full human in my stomach." Like literally almost 6 years ago, this exact second is when you tweeted
Yeah,
it.
that's so weird. Um, that's hilarious. And yeah, no, it is super weird growing humans. So I stand by that tweet.
I told you right before we started recording that you share a birthday with my wife. I've never said this to her, but I say it to family members when I talk about their children. I'll say, "Where's that thing you made?" I would never say that to my wife,
Yeah.
but it is So congrats, you had a full human in
Yeah.
your stomach, and it worked out for you.
Yeah, it did. They're two fully functioning children now, both snowboard, they rip. It's crazy.
That is very cool that they both snowboard. I imagine that that is both fun and I don't know if it's maybe scary is the right word, but probably the I don't say cons. I think snowboarding is something you love more than most things, but it has to be an interesting juxtaposition for you to watch your children snowboard. It's awesome, but you also know the perils of it, I guess is the question.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel way more nervous watching them ride than like myself for sure. But also, just like myself, I trust my training and they have really great teachers, not to toot my own horn. But I think, yeah, I know that they're fine. They're exploring, their body and their movements, and I think it's really cool.
I think learning how to snowboard. I have a 4-year-old. He
Nice.
just turned 4, and so we're thinking about like finally getting him into soccer, baseball. These are very
Yeah.
mild things compared to snowboarding, but I have to imagine that that teaches children an incredible level of range of motion, an incredible level of resilience. Like it has to, and also teaches them to get outside in some elements that I live in South Texas. We can't quite snowboard here, but it
Yeah.
has to be a very cool thing for young human beings to go through.
Yeah, exactly. And like we love being outside in nature. And I mean, I'm already on the mountain. My husband's already on the mountain. So it's just natural that they're going to be out there too. But they also do like the regular sports, just outside of the winter.
Yeah, I cover the NFL, and you threw out regular like snowboarding's a real sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they just do whatever these other silly sports, that waste time. But
No.
snowboarding's what's put a roof over your head. Let's be honest, Brenna.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. I meant like traditional, we're like extreme sports, which I mean, football could be considered because of the, brain injury and stuff, but just, the more dangerous sports than others.
Well, in understanding more about your life, danger is something that you are very comfortable with, or maybe don't even know exists. You toe the edge in every facet of your life, in confidence, which is what I think so many people admire about you. And I think that that's probably the best thing to teach your children. Speaking as a fellow parent and just as someone who's a great ambassador for our country, and certainly coming up here in Milan. And so that being said, where does that come from for you? Because you do not seem to ever blink when something comes your way that is difficult or any level of adversity.
Oh no, I quit. I'm always like, I quit. I'm done. I don't want to do
What
this.
an
But then
awesome answer.
but I always go for it after. I'm like, do I really quit? And like, is that really how I want to define this era of my life? And then I'm like, no, I'm going to send it. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do it. But I always quit immediately first.
I think that that's okay though, right? Like that's good. That's a great lesson, right? To be like you can stop for a second, you can take a break, you can come back to something, whatever that is in life, whether it's athletics, whether it's education, whether it's just,
Mm.
mowing the yard. I mean, there's a million different ways that you can look at that and apply that lesson. And so I have a lot of questions about your overall athletic career and athletic prowess. What makes you stop quitting? What makes you, I guess, what makes you quit quitting? That's the best thing you've ever quit.
Yeah. Ooh, true. I think there's so many different things that we can experience in life. And the only way that we get a chance to try them and to do them and to be whatever it is we want to be is by going for it and doing it. So I'm really comfortable at putting myself out there because I want to try so many different things in life. Um, yeah, I think that's like the worst part of life is there's so many things out there that we will never get to try, but there's so many things that we do. I don't know.
That was really insightful. Like what a great approach to life and zest for life that like, man, I only get one. I only get to,
Hmm.
snowboard. I don't get
Yeah.
to, I don't even know what's on your bucket list right now. Like what's the thing you
Oh,
you haven't tried that you want to?
there's so many things. But I would say like I think I'm really drawn to like slower things right now. So
Mm.
like I really like sewing. I like designing my own like fashion stuff. I just haven't had time to do any of it. So that's like a future me thing.
Busy time of year for you, or busy, season of your life that this is about to be. Certainly, I love that. My mother-in-law is a big sewer. She makes my son different quilts and things like that. So,
Oh, I love that.
there's room for you to, later in life, when snowboarding
Yeah.
is not an everyday thing. I really really love that. So we have in common that we're both parents. I have two dogs. I'm a dog person. I don't know if that's like a red flag or anything here.
No, I love dogs.
Okay, cool. Well, because you have a cat, and so like,
I do.
that's for some people it's a bit of a red flag. And I work from home. My dogs, Bear and Honey, are an everyday part of my routine, and they're huge for my own health and wellness and just kind of my companions in life. And I know you share that obviously with your cat, and health and
Mhm.
wellness from a, dietary sense is important, but just in a general sense as well.
Yeah, I okay, listen. First of all, I love dogs. I'm a huge dog person, but I am weirdly obsessed with my cat because I was never a cat person until I learned cats and that they're
Mm.
all about boundaries and just like yeah, they will come to you. And once I kind of understood that, I became a huge fan. But my cat, what I love, there's multiple things I love most about her, but she forces me to slow down. I think one thing with dogs is they're just like super energetic, like give me like attention, which
Mm.
love. But my cat is the opposite. Like if you want her to come to you or like you want her companionship, you have to be calm, you have to be slow. And as just an athlete, as an ADHD person, as just like an energetic person, that's really hard for me. So she forces me to like slow down and be present so that, I can get the love and the snuggles that I want.
Well, the love and the snuggles, and also the mental and physical focus for Milan and the games and everything
Hmm.
like that. And so Mouse is your cat, and
Yes.
Nulo is a part of Mouse's life in your life.
Yes.
Does Mouse travel to the games? Is that
No.
because I don't know how that works. I didn't mean to tug at a thread. I don't I don't
No,
know.
I
I've never been
wish.
involved. So
I wish. I wish. I think she would hate the travel. But she will be well taken care of here. Yeah, I will say like the the emotional support and the emotional connection that I have with my cat. It's something that I definitely cherish. It's like the first thing people ask me, like, what is the first thing you do when you get home after a long travel? My kids are usually at school, so I feel like I can say this. But yeah, I go to my cat tree and I just like love on my cat because I don't know, I missed her so much.
that's very sweet. And I'm glad that Nulo helps tie all that together for you in your
Yeah,
life. And it works out that your children are at school. Because otherwise, we can all prioritize, but we all also love
yeah.
our pets. I'm curious. My sort of main question about the games is you're a mom, you're a cat mom,
Mhm.
you have a family and you have a life and you have different things. Like how do you put all that on hold for a whole games? Like, I mean, when I travel, I have a hard time like pausing my mail. So like
Mm.
how do you how do you just like even let go of that mentally to compete at the highest level?
Yeah, I think trusting my partner, my
Of
husband,
course.
he like holds it all down. I don't have to worry about what's happening at home. Of course I still do, right? Like that would be insane. But there are definitely moments where I can fully break away, focus on the task at hand. And then, ideally if the time zone works out, give them a FaceTime call and check in and see how everyone's doing. But I know that everything at home is taken care of.
I have two last ones for you. And the penultimate one is I know you've done some interviews about your traveling and
Mhm.
you've talked about like important things like standing up on the airplane and staying hydrated and whatever. I'm curious for someone who travels so much, what's your like how do you stay entertained? Like do you download things on a
Mhm.
tablet or like you're a podcast person? You know, I'm flying on this weekend. So like, you know, you're better at this than I am.
I use the airplane as like a reset. So
Mm,
I'll like download meditations. I'll usually journal. And then once I'm done with like the things that make me feel good mentally that I don't always have the full time and attention to give to it in my everyday life, then I'll watch shows. And I always download things before I get on the plane because sometimes the plane TVs just don't have what I'm looking for.
of course. Well, to squeeze one in, do you have a show prepared for Milan? Like maybe you're going to download like several.
Oh,
Yeah, you should find that. You know what I mean? Like something
I
that has several
don't.
seasons.
I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out.
I just started Mad Men. I'm a little bit late,
Oh,
obviously, but you
yeah, it's
know,
okay.
it's kind of peaceful. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
I don't know what headspace you're looking for. Obviously, the optimum one. I
Yeah.
want to close with this. So I started with a tweet. This is a screen grab of I don't know how well you'll be able to see it of three different tweets. And so in looking through your Twitter, I know you don't tweet often anymore. Again, one of my favorite follows that there could ever be. No filter on any of your tweets.
Okay, well, you should have seen it way back because I used to have a separate Twitter that was definitely no Twitter or no filter.
Okay, so on the subject of shows, I'm going to show you this right here, and then I don't know how well you can see it on my phone.
I can't.
But then okay, well, so I'll read it to you in chronological order. The first tweet here is I'm rewatching Schitt's Creek and the comfort I'm experiencing. So maybe that's
That show.
you know the right headspace you want to get into for
Hmm.
Milan. The second tweet here, I never thought I would say this to someone who has a gold medal. That workout was so hard it made me have to poop. That was so. Um, and then your tweet after that. These were in the span of 2 days, by the way. This was September of 2021. You said only Twitter gets my purest thoughts. Sorry in advance. I don't think you should be sorry at all. Like this is what we need on the internet.
That is so funny. I don't remember any of that, but again, I kind of stand by it.
I think you should. It was so awesome to find because normally, you know, people with your credentials are really buttoned up on the internet, and so it's really refreshing to see someone be their full and total selves,
Yeah.
not just on the snow. I don't know if that's the proper terminology on the
Yeah.
snow.
On Hill.
Yeah. How about let's close with that. Give me something to impress a snowboarder in the future. You know what I mean? Like something to say, like a secret passcode.
I don't really think there are any. I would say, um, I'd just be like, I don't know. Not to put me on the spot. Don't be a Jerry. I don't know.
That's a okay. So that's like a snowboarder lingo. Don't be a Jerry.
Yeah.
So I would have pulled
Yeah.
up something from like Johnny Tsunami. That's only like you know.
I mean, Johnny Tsunami's great.
I feel like if I were a snowboarder, I would hate that because it probably created a lot of
No.
stereotypes that are annoying.
I mean, probably, but also no. I love Johnny Tsunami.
Well done, Brenna. Wishing you all the luck and wellness and just peace and joy and love in Milan. Represent our country well. I know you will. I know Nulo is making sure that you're taken care of and that Mass is taken care of and your
Yeah.
family. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from my family and I to you and yours. And we'll be rooting you on certainly in a few weeks' time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.